Hey guys, it's Alex and welcome back to the 6th episode of Let's Talk. Hope you guys are having a good day, and based on the title, I'm just going to get right into it. So starting with the NBA, we have the Cavs and Warriors that look like they're going to be sweeping in their conference finals and be facing each other in the finals. And this is going to be the third straight year that they will be facing each other in the finals, and this is the first time in NBA history that the two teams have not lost a single playoff game in the postseason to make it up to the finals. Even though these series are not over yet, Leonard is likely to be out for Game 4, and Isaiah Thomas is out for the rest of the playoffs, so it doesn't look like they have really any chance of making a comeback, which is very disappointing because injuries do suck, and I hate watching games when the full team can't play. But I think the bigger picture is about how these teams are made. Should the NBA fix or control how free agency works? Should the NBA be allowed to veto signings like they did when they vetoed the trade for Chris Paul to the Lakers? Should they use that more? Should they use it on teams signing more players? For example, like KD signing with the Warriors. That was a great sign by the Warriors. But you just took away a top 3 player and put him on the best team. It just doesn't take away from the conference, it takes away from the league. You're just stacking up 2 teams. The Cavs have their big 3 and the Warriors have a big 4, and making them unstoppable. Yes, I'm a Heat fan and I understand that I had a big 3 a couple years ago, and that kind of did start the trend. The Celtics had the big 3, then the Heat, now the Warriors and Cavaliers. But right now, you saw these playoffs. There's only been two interesting series: the Rockets and Spurs, and the Wizards and Celtics. In the Rockets and Spurs, the Game 7 was horrible. In the Celtics and Wizards, it was actually a great series because it was competitive and it was equal. They didn't have big 3s. They had Bradley Beal and John Wall against Isaiah Thomas. It wasn't like they had 3 star players on each team, top of the league, competing and making it easy. It was just competitive, and that's what they lost when all these signings take place from the big 3, and that everyone wants a ring, so all the best players go to one team. They've lost a lot of competitiveness, and you can see it. And interesting, are these playoffs even talked about as much as before? Everyone's just assuming it's gonna be Warriors, Cavs the entire time. At the beginning of the postseason, no one thought maybe it's gonna be Rockets, maybe it'll be the Spurs. Right when they started winning, everyone's like, okay, it'll be a 3-peat of what it's going to be. And it's more of the question of who's going to win the finals than who's going to be in the finals. And that's a little bit bad. It's bad because you can see it with ESPN. They lost over 100 employees because they made these billion-dollar deals with NBA for their rights. And they can't get enough viewers because it's not as competitive. It's not as interesting as it used to be. And should the NBA fix that? Yes, they've had this new rule about these players getting these mega extensions if they stay with the team. But right now, it doesn't even look like that works because DeMarcus Cousins gets traded, so he loses it. Gordon Hayward and Paul George should be getting these extensions, but because the rule is that you have to be in the all NBA teams, and the media decides, not the NBA decides, that these 2 players who deservedly should be getting these contracts aren't getting them. And now they are likely to be heading off to off-season teams and better teams or more equipped teams like a Cavaliers or Warriors. Just even though those signings probably won't happen, it's just that they can sign because the deal they had in place is gone. Gordon Hayward's not going to get that mega extension. Now he's more likely to leave than stay in Utah, which was what the NBA's priorities was just to have the stars stay in a team so they don't all join one team. But it hasn't really worked. KD left Oklahoma City and didn't get the extension, went to the Warriors. It looks like the money isn't that important when you're making that much. They were making over $100 million before. I understand 30 million, 40 million is a crap ton of money. But when you're making that much already, do you want more money, or do you just want the ring that you've been trying to get for your entire life? And that's the thing that the NBA needs to control. They need to select players, not pick the players that are easiest to play. They need to say these players are the ones that have been playing that Paul George should be able to get this contract in Indianapolis. on to the Lakers or somewhere else, which is very competitive. They can make these players want to stay there and not go out. They need to like keep even it out. But right now they haven't figured it out. So let me know in the comments, do you think the NBA should control free agency? Should they be allowed to like stop deciding to pass and give it its own season? Or should it be worse? I understand as a fan of the Heat, or like if you're a fan of the Warriors, you might not like them. But for the overall good for the league, it should be better long term. Because like the other team, like the Milwaukee Bucks, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's an amazing player, but who do you see? Who else is on that team? That on his quality. They can't sign anyone from Milwaukee. They're a good team, but they're nowhere near the quality of the Warriors and Cavs where they ever even be. If Giannis isn't the best player in the world, he's not going to be able to truck so many players. He might be another player that might want to move on and join the best team, and that's an issue. They need to make sure these players want to stay there and build their own teams and build better teams to compete against them. It's saying if you can't beat them, join them. That shouldn't be the case with the NBA. They shouldn't be a rule like you said, or it should be enforcing that. If you can't beat them, make your own team better. Don't join them. Be stronger. Because right now it's just not it's just not working. It's just pretty much making the NBA worse. As they kind of move on, become better, become a bigger brand. Yes, that does help. Like they have giant teams. But you can look at that this is any league in the world. You can look at this as you can look at this as one. Even though Monaco did win this year. You just have to or you can look at La Liga has always 2 teams, maybe 3 every year. It makes the league work. Even though like Bayern Munich is a fantastic team, or Serie A and Juve, they're great teams, but there's no competition. Competition is not what who's gonna get first, or who's gonna get second, third, fourth. Which I understand that's great for Champions League and Europa League, but that just doesn't make you fair. It just makes it one team knows no win. You don't see any competition, and that's the issue. So please let me know what you think about it. I think that there should be, they should make it that the players want to stay, or that they don't want to join. The Warriors are like joining the elite teams that they should be able to build a team. That owners should have a say every single time. I know they have a say in trade, but you don't see it happen often. The only should I ever think of is the Falls. Should they be able to do this more? And if so, how should it be? Let's move on. And next we have the NHL with their playoffs that have been honestly like what I want them to be. They have always been great. We have the Predators with the Ducks. Now the Predators are up 3-2, and one more win. They will be advancing to the finals for the first time. That's exciting because like unlike the NBA playoffs, these Predators were not likely to make it. They somehow shut out the Blackhawks, advanced against them, and played incredible. That's something that the NBA needs. But like that's making the NHL playoffs so much better, and I love that. That any team can make it. If you make the playoffs, you have a chance at winning it. It's not if you make the playoffs, congrats, that's it. You don't have a shot. Their goal should always be the finals. It should always be the championship. If you make the playoffs, you should be able to make it that far or be proud of it. And then you have the Penguins and Senators. Senators played well, but then the Penguins made the goalie switch, and that helped out a lot. Now the series is tied at 2, but by the time you're watching it, they did play their game 5. So I can't really tell you what's going on there. Let me know who advances in both of those games, and who do you have in the finals in that series. And let's go on to Major League Baseball, as the Astros are the best team in baseball right now. I usually cover who's playing the best, who's struggling. But last week or a week or 2 weeks ago, it was the Yankees and Nationals. Now it's the Astros looking great, but their star pitcher Dallas Keuchel is on the DL. And how long do you think the Astros are going to be this great for? Do you think they're going to compete with the Cubs for the World Series, or even it's so early in the season, I can't really predict that. Just understanding that they have a shot and should be an elite contender for that. And let's move on to football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. Is now that all the seasons are ending. Premier League just ended as Arsenal will not qualify for Champions League. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good thing or bad thing, because I think now that they are forced to change their team, change how they are played. Should Arsene Wenger leave or stay? Because they did not qualify Champions League, I think that they might want to change something up. Even at the end of the season, they did look a lot better when they changed to the 3-4-3. I think there's a lot of issues with Arsenal, but I think it's just the simple fact that the fans do not trust the team right now. They have so much quality. They have Sanchez, Ozil, all these quality players, but right now, you think Sanchez can play in Europa League? He's probably going to move on, so what should Arsenal do? Let me know in the comments below. And that, because Arsenal didn't get top 4, that means Liverpool did. So who do you think they should sign? There's rumors of them going after wingers all the time. What do you think do they need to do? One thing, they need to keep Coutinho whatsoever from Barcelona, but who else should they sign? Should they go after Alexander Lacazette, or should they go after another goalkeeper? Who should they sign? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know what should I talk about next video, and let me know any suggestions for the series. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like on this episode, and peace.